Hey, welcome back traders to the conclusion of my 2024 back testing. We still have a couple more days left. As you can see, I still have the 30th and the 31st to back test. And then after that, I will be showing you my results. I'll be going over all the notable stats that I have observed. So let's go ahead and get started with the last couple of days here. So I have it set to December 27th here on the daily chart. You can see that in the most recent price action, we've had this big drop. We went back in to rebalance it. And you can see the last few days, we went up, consolidated, and then we went down. So I'm considering this a balanced price range. For the last couple of days, I will be bearish. I'll be looking for sell side maybe below this low, but more importantly, I'm looking at 50% of this wick, okay? So 50% of this wick, I think in the next couple of days, we can make it here. I think that's reasonable. Whether or not we make it down here, well, we'll see. But I think I'll just cut it off if we go down to 50% on this daily wick. All right, so this is Monday, December 30th on the 1 hour chart. We've already taken out these relative equal lows. I would like it if we just had this remain intact as we move into the market. But, well, it's already been taken. Now, if you look a little bit lower, we have that dotted purple line. This is going to be 50% of that daily wick. That's where I think price could drive it down into going into these last few days. And so far, we are creating a large displacement to the downside on the 1 hour. Well, let's go down to the 15-minute and see if we can narrow this down a little bit more. So I do see a fair value gap here, a rather large one. So I'm wanting price to come back and retrace into this 15-minute fair value gap. And then from there, I want to see a setup going for the downside. So let's go ahead and jump into the 5-minute and go ahead and walk it through today on Monday. Okay, so looking at the 5-minute here, it's 9:45. We never got a retracement back into this 15-minute fair value gap. At 8:30, we started displacing lower. We created this fair value gap, but I don't think we ever traded back into it. Like if I go ahead and draw a line at the low here, okay, we probably poked above it a little bit there. And then at 9:30, we are starting to displace a little bit lower, but I'm not really interested in entering short until I see some kind of a buy side sweep. So I definitely want to see like maybe price retreat into this imbalance. That would be enough for me, or it could go all the way up to this 15-minute fair value gap. We are getting close to that 50% on the daily wick. If it does get hit, I think probably won't have a trade today, but right now we are consolidating in this blue. If we go up to the 1 hour, I believe this was a 1 hour fair value gap. Yeah, this is an old 1 hour fair value gap. So we could be using this as inversion. If we go for, let's say, up to 50%, which I guess we kind of did already right here, 50%. Still would like to see a buy side sweep though, but maybe we'll hit the target, the sell side target, before I even get any kind of retracement. Okay, so it looks like it's consolidating here at the low of the fair value gap. Here we're getting a little bit of displacement to the upside. Now I want to see a sweep of this. Okay, it looks like we created a fair value gap here. Can we go into this inefficiency and perhaps go into this 15-minute fair value gap? This could potentially be a long entry as well, but I want to go with the higher time frame bias. I want to go short. So just waiting right here for a buy side sweep. Okay, and I think we nearly have it. Here's the line. We did poke above it a little bit, but I'm gonna give it a little bit more time here. It's kind of getting close to 12, so I don't know if I'll be able to enter here. I want to see displacement to the downside, but I probably could go back into that 15-minute SIBI. Okay, so my time window is done. Didn't do any trading today. I wanted to see a specific setup, but it didn't give it to me. So let's go ahead and take a look at the end of the day, see exactly what the price action looks like. As you can see, we did make our way back up to that 15-minute fair value gap. And then shortly after, we started we just consolidated until about, what, 3 o'clock. That's when we started getting the displacement here. This would have been the entry I would have wanted to get in on if it was in the morning, right? We went into this 15-minute fair value gap. We had a displacement away from it. I will want to get in here, and then we have further displacement here and consolidated in the middle for the end of the day. So let's go ahead and jump into the 31st. This will be the last day of 2024. and then we can get into the results after this. So looking at the 1 hour consolidation here, we have buy side liquidity above this high and sell side liquidity. I'll bring it down for these relative equal lows, but remember, I'm looking for that higher time frame, 50% on the lower wick on that daily candle. Now we did have this big bounce up, but I'm thinking, do I really want to see a sweep of the buy side? I mean, I guess we could. That would be ideal. But let's go down to the 15-minute. And I do see this big fair value gap. It's currently being used as support, so we could get a bounce up for a buy side sweep. And then afterwards, I will pretty much want to see price trade through it like butter. So we'll go to the lower time frame and start walking it through. All right, so it is 9:45. We didn't really get a bump up for the buy side up here. However, we did tap into this 1 hour fair value gap at 7 o'clock. Had some consolidation, but you can see that at 9:30 we did start displacing lower. This is good enough for me to try and get in here. I am a little late to the party though, but we did not take out these lows, so we create relative equal lows. Remember, we also have relative equal lows down here. So what I am thinking now is, if I want to enter here, say perhaps I have this stop loss up here, and if I would have been quicker on the trigger and I enter here at this would be way too much risk, right? This will be about 80 points of risk. If I go about the middle, then still a little bit much. So what I want to do is actually wait. We could just get a drive up into the buy side. I think if we could get a drive up into the buy side and then create a setup, that would be even better. But right now, I'm going to wait for a confirmation fair value gap. Hopefully, we get a fair value gap before taking out the sell side. If not, then oh well, you know, it ran without me. So starting to consolidate a little bit here. And then here we go. We got displacement for the sell side. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try enter into this one, because remember, I am looking for 50% on that daily wick to get into a trade to. So if I get an entry here at what is this, 392, and I have my stop. Well, I don't really want to have my stop all the way up there. What I'm going to do is place my stop at the high of this order block. It's also above this previous fair value gap that we consolidated in. So I think this should be a safe risk here. It's going to be about 42 points of risk or so. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with one contract. The sell side already got tapped into, but I think we can go more, right? I'm looking for price to go down. If you look back on the 1 hour, I'm looking for price to come down for this swing low and go into 50% of that daily wick. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. Hopefully we can get wicked in. Technically, we're not in just yet, right? This is the high of this candle is 392. I have it at 392.5, so I need 2 ticks more in order to get in on this trade here. And it rallied up and stopped me out. Man, after taking out the sell side with this rally, I think we could go back into that 1 hour fair value gap and maybe hit that buy side. So I may consider flipping long here, even though my higher time frame bias is to the downside. But let me go ahead and record this loss. And then if we come back down to this fair value gap and create a confirmation, I'll enter on the confirmation fair value gap. All right, so we didn't get that rally up that I was expecting. We started consolidating a little bit, and then we created a new lower low with displacement, mind you. So we may be going short again. So let me go ahead and see. Well, if you know, this big rally here at 4 o'clock, we've already traded down below it. So it's showing me that this displacement is not holding up as support. We see this fair value gap here. This rally that took me out, that stopped me out, it went back into this fair value gap. But remember, with this fair value gap, I had my stop loss at the order block, I believe right here, right? Well, I believe it was right there. So it stopped me out on the order block. But if I was conservative, I would have my stop all the way up there. If that was the case, I would not have gotten stopped out, and this trade would have started working in my favor. So with that in mind, and then we did not respect this fair value gap, this BISI here in this rally, and then we're starting to create another fair value gap here. I'll go ahead and try it one more time, and I'll have my stop at the high of this candle, and we'll see where the fair value gap closes in. But if it remains intact here, I'll go ahead and try for one right here with one contract. Let me go ahead and change the color so it's a little bit clearer on what I'm thinking. Thinking to short with my entry there, and then with this one, this should be my risk here in pink. Depending on where the fair value gap closes, right? So I want a fair value gaps, like if it closes right here, I'll move the entry up a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what is going on here. So the fair value gap closed up here. So my entry would be at 345.5 with my risk here at 408. So that's going to be like 63 points of risk, which is quite a lot, but I think we can come back down for 50% of the gap, and that looks to be about close to 2 to 1. So I think that's okay. We'll aim for like a 2 to 1 trade. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if the short works out or not. Only got about 45 minutes until we get to the end of my time window. I want to see more displacement, and then I can start moving my stop down. So I'm just giving a little bit of chance here. It's coming back into this inefficiency. It went up above this high. Hopefully we don't get stopped out here. Yeah, being the last day of the year, we may not be doing much. So it could just consolidate in here. And we are starting to get displacement now. If this fair value gap remains intact, I'll go ahead and move my stop to the high of this fair value gap. So I'll go ahead and move it to break even here. And I'll highlight this in yellow only if this fair value gap forms. If it doesn't form, I'm not going to be moving my stop. Okay, I do realize it is past my time window, but I'm going to give it a chance. I will take it off here at this purple line. This will be 50% of that daily wick. Taking it off at 218.5, so a little bit above it. And my stop loss is now break even, so there's no way I'm going to be losing out on this trade. If this fair value gap remains intact, we have 1, 2, 3 fair value gaps. If that will be the case, I'll go ahead and move the stop to the high of the third fair value gap. 3 PD raise of protection. That's what I would like. And we went ahead and got the 50% on that daily wick at 12:45. So I only had to go over about 30 minutes. So okay, I'll go ahead and record it as a win, and then I will, you know what? I'll go ahead and jump straight to the results here for you guys. So just give me 1 second. Okay, guys, before we get into the results, I just want to give you a few disclaimers. First, make sure you go ahead and read this right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take myself off. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. My videos are never made for financial advisory at all. Okay, it's only for entertainment purposes. So make sure you read this. Okay, there are a lot of risks to trading, and these results, okay, is going to just me back testing a model that I, designed, or whatever you want to call it. And I only back tested 2024, so no other years, only 1 year of sample size. It was an election year, so it could be a little bit different than normal years. If you try and replicate this, I guarantee you will not get my exact results. Now, also, that's another point I want to make, is that I'm the one that is doing the back testing. So I'm reading the price action, I'm determining my bias, and I'm deciding where to put my stop loss and how I'm managing my stop loss, where my entries are, etc. So when you do it yourself, you may feel a different way. You may read the price differently. So again, you're not going to get the same results that I do. So that is another disclaimer. Also, I want to make sure that if you do try to attempt any kind of trading strategy, make sure you go back and back test it for yourself and look at your own results to determine whether or not you want to put real money towards this kind of stuff. So with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the spreadsheet. Okay, so first, when I take a look at the overall results, this does look like a winning strategy. I did end up the year with $12,392, and I only started the year off with a flat 10,000. But you can see that even though this is a winning strategy here, the winning percentage is not that great. It's only about 50-50. I'm only winning 51% of the time. So it's pretty much 50-50, right? But where it makes a difference is that whenever I win, I'm winning more on average then I am losing, right? So even though it's 50-50, my winners are a little bit bigger and my losers are well, smaller. So that is where I'm making up with the risk to reward. But it's not that big, actually. If you look at the average RR, I'm only winning like 0.23 Rs more than I'm losing. So it's like, okay, on average, when I win, I'll make like maybe 1.23 R. When I lose -1 R, right? So it's not a large amount, but it's enough to give me a winning edge. If you look at the right here, the risk to reward, every time I lose, it's always -1. Okay, you don't see a number bigger than -1 in this column. So what that tells you is that it is very important to not move your risk wider than what you initially intended. Okay, so if I want to put my risk, let's say here, right, and I'm going for a long, right, but the price is starting to get close and I get nervous and I'm like, okay, you know what, maybe my risk is not good enough, I'm going to go ahead and widen a bit, like lower my risk. You don't want to do that. Okay, you don't see anything past -1. If I get stopped out, I just get stopped out and I look for another opportunity to get in. And sometimes I do make up the losses, but other times I don't. So if I take 2 losses, I'll try and just end it on that day. I think it was a couple of times I broke the rule where I did make more than 2 trades that a day. I took more than 2 losses. So that's another caveat, guys. I did not follow every single rule to the T. I'm human, I have emotions, and I do have some psychological things to work on in my trading. So that is another thing why you're not going to get my exact results, because even I don't follow all my rules. But I somehow ended up having a nice profitable strategy here with a 25% P&L on the year. At one point, I was up 33%, or a little. I don't know if it was 33, but it was over 30%, I remember. But the last few months did bring it down. Let's go ahead and take a look at any notable months here. Okay, so clicking through the months here, February actually here, if you look at the winning percentage, my highest winning percentage months was February with a 72% win rate. And then also in April was really good, also a 71% win rate. And then also in August, actually, August was really good. It was an 81% win rate. So those are pretty good months with the highest winning percentage. But I also had some really down months. So like, for example, in March, it was only 37% win rate, a 30% win rate in June. And September, my worst month, was a 20% win rate. Although, you can see I did not actually make a lot of trades in September. So I'm guessing that was during a time where there was a lot of consolidation. So I did not really put in that many trades. And also November was a pretty bad month with a 38% win rate. And then when we take a look at the P&L now, I didn't do this for every month. I kind of added this in midway through or something. So some of the months don't have it. I'm not going to go back and adjust the formulas or anything, but just clicking through what I had. The notable ones was in February, of course, right? February was a really good month for me. I had a 8.5% P&L. Sorry, let me repeat that. 8.5% P&L on the month, which was really, really good. And then also, I have one more thing to note. If you go to July, you can see I have a 50% winning rate, but my P&L was also very good, a 7% P&L, which means my risk to reward was really good here in July. I can see at least one trade was over 3-1. So yeah, that probably made it up. And then just clicking through a little bit, I even had a nice win, 7.6% P&L in August, of course, with the high winning rate. But September was really bad, a -3%. And then I guess the last 4 months actually were all red months. So September, October, November, and December were all red months. So I don't know, it's something about the winter time or the fall to winter, beginning of winter. It seems like those months are probably where this strategy tends to falter a little bit, or maybe it was just because during the election there was a lot of consolidation, a lot of uncertainty in the market. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me for this backtesting series in 2024. Now that I am done, I'm going to have a lot more time to do other types of videos. Let me know in the comments, do you want more educational videos? Do you want me to backtest another year? Do you want me to backtest a different strategy? So far the plan, I am going to go back to those ICT lectures. I haven't been doing them because I have been feeling pretty under the weather these past couple of weeks, but I am starting to feel better now. So I'm going to get back on those, doing the ICT lecture. It looks like he's starting a new series. He seems to be done with the 2025 lectures and going to some kind of storytelling. I will be covering those as well, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so. Please give this video a like and let me know if you've been backtesting yourself, and let me know what kind of results you are seeing. I'd love to see your videos if you've been making some backtesting videos of your own. But thank you guys so much once again, and until I see you guys next time, safe trading.